Welcome to my weekly power astrology forecast. So today I thought I'd give it another try with live. I did a test run and it looked okay. So we'll see if it turns out that way. Otherwise, I go back to the pre-recorded. But I must say I do like it better to have that connection and see your comments there and see that you're there. So for me, it's more fun to do it live, even if it's a little bit more exciting because I might mess up and stumble over some words, which I still don't like. So anyway, as you know, I like to condense the coming week in this specific forecast into something concrete. With my Sun in Taurus, I want to things be practical, so I don't want to get lost in some kind of astro bubble. So if I do, kind of raise your hand and tell me to get on with things. So we have an interesting week coming up. I mean, usually the weeks are interesting. There's always something shifting in the heavens. And what I want to look at specifically in the weekly forecast are the longer transitions, the time shifts of the planets besides the moon. I mean, the moon I cover more in the 1 minute forecasts I do because the moon is extremely important. But to talk about all these shifts in the weekly forecast would totally go beyond, and you don't want to sit with me here for 2 hours. So I kind of want to focus on the high points of the week. So the high point of the coming week is that Mercury retrograde we all have been enduring or suffering. I was suffering under it. I had so much stuff going wrong with technical things, and I have my Sun and my Mercury in Taurus. So with that retrograde happening through Taurus, I really felt it very strong this time. And this is a good example that all these astrological constellations and actualizations we call transits, they only hit you if they kind of hook into your birth chart, if they touch a planet in your birth chart. And then you really have to channel that energy and connect with that energy and start a conversation with that planet and what it represents. So finally, the Mercury retrograde is coming to an end on Wednesday. And you want to give it kind of a couple of days. I talk about a shadow area. So it makes sense if something moving into a certain direction, it kind of takes a moment to rest, going direct and then moving into the forward direction again. So that's what's happening this week. So I'm really happy about that. And if you have any planets in Aries, in Taurus or the opposing signs, then you probably in the same boat as I am. Good, it's over. But with the moving forward, we are kind of now able to reap the benefits of this going over second time in these degrees in our chart. So I want to talk about that and how we best take advantage, because in my book, a Mercury retrograde or any retrograde planet is not a bad transit. So there are no bad planets, so there cannot be bad transits. But when we have retrograde action, we are invited to kind of retrieve our steps and look at things deeper, and we get a second or third chance, we could say. So that's a good thing, but especially with Mercury retrograde, we know things often kind of just are not in sync. So computers acting up, missing airplanes, lost baggage, these kind of things we attribute to Mercury retrograde. So I don't know if there is really so much we can do about those things, but we can do a lot about how we take the Mercury into our consciousness and how we want to work that. So Mercury is in Aries, and Aries, sign of the warrior, the beginning energy, the starting energy. So it's all about passion. So I believe this retrograde period is about discovering the passion we hold, and then what we want to do about it, what kind of action steps we want to take, and not just allow those passions to stay as dreams but unmanifested. So the dreaming part is a very important part, but then of course there is that taking action and really channeling those energies and take those steps. So of course there are certain strategies and things we can do. So let me have a look here what I prepared. So first of all, when the Mercury is turning direct May 3rd, it is in an applying conjunction, moving into the conjunction with Uranus, and it's also in a wide square with Pluto. So we can expect fireworks and lightning and things suddenly shifting into a new gear, breakthroughs in consciousness. So whenever Uranus is part of a transit, it's always about finding that moment of breakthrough into a high level of consciousness, a higher level. So also we look at Uranus as a higher octave of Mercury. So those two planets coming together in a conjunction, that's kind of interesting and something in our mind, in the way we look into the world, in the way how we filter the world intellectually, wants to come to adjustment. Remember, the Pluto comes in there as well with some energy. So Pluto is always about transformation. It's always about going really deep, analyzing those underlying deeper levels which steer us into action in our life. So we can expect in the coming week to really get some different new perspectives, some breakthroughs, which I believe is a really nice thing. And we can also expect that we will be able, those insights and deepening quests we have been on in the retrograde period, that now we can really move forward and do something with those insights. So a lot of times when we are kind of hesitant to move forward, excuse me, then what often holds us back unconsciously is a fear of failure. And it might help to think about what really is failure. So for me, failure, and of course, as we all, I have done many of them, small ones, bigger ones, but I don't view them really as mistakes or failures in that way, because they have made me the person I am today. So there's this beautiful book, The Summer House. It's a kind of fantasy romance book where you have the chance to go back in any point into your time for 3 weeks and make different decisions, and then you move forward in a different timeline. So I like this kind of thought experiments. So anyway, when I read the book, I felt inspired to really look, where would I go in my life? Where would I want to make certain changes? And yeah, I would buy probably Apple stocks early on, 20 years ago. Those kind of things of changes, yeah, that would be nice to be able to do that. But truth to be told, I don't think I would make changes in a very pronounced way, because I realized all these so-called failures or relationships I have in which didn't work out, all those things really have made me a quite conscious person nowadays. And I wouldn't not have those parts. So that's why I think failure is actually non-existence. It's just you make mistakes and you learn and you grow. So we shouldn't allow the fear of failures to hold us back. And then, of course, in order to move forward, first of all, we have to have a dream. We have to have an intention, a goal to where we move towards. And that is actually really, really important, because often when we get very clear onto our intentions and where we want to go, then the universe comes in and helps us to get there. So comes up with steps, with people we meet and connections we couldn't even have dreamt of. So the important thing is we have the dream as a lighthouse there in the future, and then allow the universe to come in and bring us the steps to get there. So that's I think really, really powerful, and that's something we can apply in big plans, long future plans, and in smaller ways in our life. So you could visit your best girlfriend for a tea, and you set an intention, what you want to experience with her, a situation of closeness, of intimacy, of deep sharing. Maybe you have a special subject you want to share about. So if you go into that connection with your best friend, and you have that goal to really share that intimacy and that heart space, you can be pretty sure that's going to happen. If you just go and you don't know what we're going to do and what we're going to talk about, it might not as likely happen as if you go into that. And you can apply that in all kinds of life circumstances. So you have a talk with your boss. If you have an outcome you want to achieve out of that conversation, you will be pretty close to getting there. If you don't have that intention, that goal set, you don't know what the outcome should be, it's just very fuzzy and chaotic, and things might not work out the way you feel is good for you. So just we can train ourselves to that mindset, to always consider, what's my intention here? What's the outcome I desire? Same thing with bigger things. You're going to get married. What's the outcome? What's your intention with this relationship? So these are really helpful questions to ask. So when you have that intention set, then you make plans as far as you can from the present moment, and then you pray and allow your angels and your guides to come in and steer you, bring the right people into your experience and help you along. So I truly believe, out of my own experience and watching all my clients in their journeys, that when you have that clarity of intention, the path will show itself. And that's really kind of magic and magical how that happens. So with the Mercury Uranus conjunction turning direct, now whatever your intentions are, you get the wind of the universe behind you. But because the Uranus is also the planet of interruption, of continuity, of newness, of breakthrough, so it can be quite violent. If you're trying to hold on to something old, Uranus comes in and boom, lightning hits and everything is different. So on the high end, that can be, you wake up one morning and you know this and that should happen, and you don't do this and that anymore. So on the low end, the Uranus can be quite destructive. So that's why astrology is so helpful, that we have an opportunity to align our consciousness in a certain way. And this is what the forecasts are all about, that you have an idea, what are the frequencies, what are the energies coming at us for the coming week. And then we have a better choice. How do we want to manifest, high end or low end? So communication is in the foreground next week, and an openness for those breakthroughs and manifesting the insights you had since that retrograde motion started April 9th. So how you do that, of course, is up to you, and how you implement those ideas and thoughts I'm able to give you. I just want to give you one more piece about the transits. So have a look. So this is a chart inside, and outside are the planets where they are right now. So this is kind of how a transit chart looks like. So you would now, with the Mercury turning direct, have a look, where's Mercury in my chart, and are there any other planets in that sign? So do you have any planets in Taurus and Aries? And then you can really see how it really triggers those planets and inner aspects inside of you. So that's what we do when we do individual forecast readings. We go through all the planets and look into the framework of a year and see what's up, what's the theme, and then it helps you to ride the wave in a more successful and happy way. So, but these weekly adjustments are wonderful to just get a sense of what's happening and what you can do with the raw material available to you. So if you have any questions, I would like you to put them in right now. Let me see, I don't see anything here. Oh, Sherry, good. Hi. So also, as you know, I'm a gemstone expert, so I love you to play with the gemstones and meditate. So each week I cover a little different perspective. So this week I wanted to talk about the crystal, the clear crystal quartz again. And I know we have done that before, but today I want to talk a little bit about cleansing a crystal or any gemstone and program a crystal. So crystal quartz. So this is a little group. This is a double terminated Herkimer diamond, all crystals. This is a group. So crystals, when you have cleansed them, and there are many ways how to do that. I just show you a very fast one where you do it with your breath. Crystals, when they're cleansed, they're kind of empty bags. So they really wait for you to put something in the way of intentions. So that's why I think it's a great stone to talk about today, where we talked so much about goals and intentions and outcomes you want to achieve. So you can use the qualities of gemstones where everything crystallizes and focus on the tip of the crystal. So we can use crystals to hold a certain intention and to magnify that. So first of all, you always want to clear your gemstone, doesn't matter which one it is, when you get it, because you can imagine through how many hands a gemstone has gotten. So you can do it with all the elements, hold it in the ocean, bury it in the ground at full moon, fire, smoking stick. So that's all possible. The fast way to do it is with your breath. So you have a plus and minus pole in your hands. So I'm holding the gemstone I want to cleanse between, and I can always feel it tingling. So then I kind of, for the cleansing, I just interrupt the flow between the hands while I sharply interrupt my breathing. So that will interrupt the flow, and that kind of cleanses it. So you can do it kind of 3 times or whatever feels right for you. So now we can assume that that is a clean, empty bag for us to put our intentions in. And then we do the same. We build up the same flow between minus and plus. You can put them together. I kind of feel it stronger when I have a little space here. So then you kind of focus onto the image, the thought, the intention. And the strongest if you connect it with an emotion. So you want to see yourself and feel yourself in that certain future or outcome you are envisioning. So you hold that in your thought, you feel the feelings, and then you breathe it into the stone. So now for my unconsciousness, that stone holds a certain intention. So by meditating with the stone, having it on my desk, playing with it, I will unconsciously always be in connection to that thought, that intention. And that gemstone will kind of magnify that and radiate it out. So, and then of course, if you meditate with a stone, put it on your third eye or on your heart, then it's even stronger. So it's a really nifty way to do energy work and bring certain intentions more strongly into your field. You can use it for healing, for setting intentions, whatever your needs are. So I don't see any questions, you guys. So, well, then I'm gonna wrap it up here. I think I gave you some thoughts for contemplation. So let me know how your week goes, and I see you soon. Aloha and namaste from Maui, and all the best. Thanks for joining.